today we're going to be talking about the console edition of Rust and its longevity and the elephant in the room that literally could kill the game. So yeah, we're going to be talking about some big topics and topics that might matter to you if you're buying skins or looking for a game to play that is going to last rather than something that's just going to sort of die out in a couple years. Yeah, obviously the PC version of Rust has lasted about a decade. The game's still going strong. It's got tons of new monuments being added and it's keeping up with all of its predecessors and sort of successors, if you will. You got games like Daisy, you've got games like Ark, and all of those games Rust is competing with in spades. Rust is still one of the most popular games on the PC, but when it comes to the console version of Rust, the release and the game is not running so smoothly. And by not so smoothly, I mean about as smooth as a baboon's butthole. And that's not smooth, trust me, folks. Anyways, what I'm talking about is the console version Rust dropped, and a lot of stuff was just missing from the game. A lot of stuff that was promised never came, and unfortunately, some base choices that were made in the PC version of Rust carried over to the console version of Rust and are really hurting the game. The main one being the engine. This is something that the Rust console devs have no choice over. They have to use this engine. They're stuck with it, and unfortunately, it has its limitations. That engine being the Unity engine. This engine is a fine engine for creating a game fast and everything like that. At the time, it was one of the better engines to use. It made a lot of sense for this project, but as Rust has grown, it's just taken more and more resources to actually get the game to run. If you're running on the PC, you probably need something like a 20 series graphics card. You need a M2 SSD to load the game in any sort of time that isn't basically an hour or two, and you also need a lot of RAM. Now, the consoles do not have this. The Xbox One is a horrible example of a console that should never be made to run Rust because it literally has some, like the specs are 2013 specs, and in 2013, all those specs I listed for the PC literally just weren't things. So yeah, you can imagine the Xbox One won't live up to those specs. Same with the PS4 and even the Xbox Series S sort of struggles at times. And even the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 aren't the best with the Unity engine and all of that. A lot of the optimization that's been done with other engines hasn't quite been done with the Unity engine, and the Unity engine excels in areas where basically a lot of the other engines don't. There's trade-offs to be made. But at the same time, when you're looking at a game that has a high resource requirement, the Unity engine isn't doing it any favors. And this is the case with the console edition Rust. So what happened is the devs have basically been sitting here trying to get community servers working. They're trying to get the game to stop lagging, and they're sort of stuck in this cycle of just trying to get the game to work. Now, this is okay if you're looking at all the other games in the space. Daisy's been out for a while, so the people who are going to stick with that are going to stick with that. Ark's been out for a while, so the people who are going to stick with that are going to stick with that. Also, small aside here, Ark is right now free on Steam, so if you just head over there and just click Get the Game, you literally get that game for free for the rest of your life, or basically as long as you can remember your Steam password, which means at some point you're going to be able to play that game on a handheld device. It might be 2050, it might be 2069, but it is going to happen at some point because technology, that's just how it works. Anyways, back to the talk here. So basically, the reason that Ark is free is actually the same reason that I think the Rust console devs should start to worry. And that is because Ark 2 is going to be dropping. A preview of the game was just dropped. It looks amazing, and along with that, there are some high-quality people that have been associated with this title. Not only are the devs spending a ton of money, they've got the Unreal Engine 5 working on this game. They've got Vin Diesel as one of the voice actors. They've got some other famous voice actors to go along with him, and it seems like they're spending big bucks when it comes to this game. In addition to this, the Unity engine is an amazing choice for a game, especially the Unity 5 engine, because the graphics and the fidelity do look amazing. But from what I've heard, this engine has been highly optimized. It's going to run better on the consoles. And when it comes to this game versus Rust, it's just going to run a lot smoother because the engine choice is more modern and that engine is more sort of optimized for consoles. There's been a lot more money spent on that engine than the Unity engine. At least that's my belief. I haven't really looked into this too much, but I do believe that the Unreal 5 engine is a lot more of a beast than the Unity engine. Back in the day, the Unity engine was a perfect choice. I've played around with it myself. It makes sense when you want to port things to multiple platforms and everything like that. But right now in 2022, it might not be the best choice. And with Ark 2 quickly closing in on its release date, which is sometime around the end of 2022, I think the console version of Rust has a lot to be worried about. They haven't dropped community servers yet. Players are still waiting for fixes to various lag issues, various bugs, and things like electricity. When something like electricity drops, there's just going to be more lag. And when stuff like community servers drop, unless everything runs perfectly, players are going to get even more upset. That's just the nature of the beast. With Ark 2 coming out, if that release is solid, if it goes smoothly, even players like myself who are a little like, I don't know about dinosaurs. They're cool, but do I want it in a survival game? We might switch over because it just sounds like an amazing game. It sounds like a lot of work's been done on it. And the trailer just looks sick. So, yeah, I think the Rust console devs need to get their act together. They need to start dropping some serious updates. They need to start dropping community servers ASAP just to get a community sort of cemented into the game. And more importantly, or maybe not more importantly, but also they should probably drop the price of skins. Because what you need players to start buying skins, even if they're cheap skins, just to lock them into the game. That's one of the things that skins do that a lot of people don't realize. You get people spending, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks on a game just for skins. They're sort of locked into the game. They don't want to leave because they feel like there's an additional investment that they've made that they need to get their money's worth out of. So yeah, drop the price of skins, get those community servers out, and start really cementing the community. Do some Twitch streamer events, do some Twitch skin drop events. That's what I mean by Twitch streamer events. Do some contests, do some stuff to just get the player base a little bit more invested in the game and a little bit more sort of connected to the game, because it is a prime player base for Ark 2 to steal. And I've got to admit, I'm a little worried about it. Anyways, what do you guys think? Is Ark 2 a game that you're looking at, or is it a game that you're just going to sort of sail on by and not care about? Let me know down below in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.